still my town. My town.
Hello, welcome back to Connecting Clarkston. This is season 3, episode 4. Katie and I are here with 2 small business owners local to the Clarkston community. Very excited to welcome Brie Bacon of Allow Nourishment and Shana Brendel from White Blossom Farm Boutique. I got that right?
Yeah.
I didn't get the order
Good
wrong.
work.
Okay. Oh, it's right there. I can just read it. What am I doing? White Blossom Farm Boutique. Welcome to both of you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
We appreciate you guys taking your time.
We're happy to be here.
And it's really good timing because obviously the holidays are coming up. Everybody's looking to buy gifts and think of thoughtful gifts, and you guys have some awesome things to offer. So we'll get into all of that. But can we start with your connections here to Clarkston? Can we start with you, Brie, what your connection is to our town?
Yeah, years and years, I think I was like, 13, 14, my mom started working for Dr. O'Neill years ago. And so that was my first connection to Clarkston. I started working for him, and then I worked for Dr. Monk for about 25 years. Senior and junior. Mm-hmm. So that really connected me to Clarkston in general. And so when it was time for me to look for a home for me and my kids, it was the obvious choice. So been here ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like old Dr. O'Neill or Dr. Tim O'Neill? Which one?
No, old Dr. O'Neill in an
Dr. James
old
O'Neill.
building,
Yeah.
actually on M15. Yes. And then because of that connection, I met Dr. Monk Senior, who gave me a job at 17. And the reason why I was able to work there for 20-some years before letting loose, which I left not that long ago, actually, just a few years ago, completely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to school with both Tim and Charlie Monk.
Yeah.
So they're like such a staple to our community. So
Yes.
that's cool, that connection that you have.
Yep.
Very cool.
Great families.
So then Shana has her boutique, and our aunt, I was going to Shana's one day, and my aunt was like, oh, make sure you check out that tallow lotion that's at Shana's. It's such good stuff. And so when I went in, I saw the lotion, and then Shana and I had talked about trying to team up with you to do something.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I saw you on Fox 2 News.
Yeah.
They were saying, I thought it was tallow, but Allow Nourishment.
Yes.
Based in Clarkston. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So then when I called Shana's like, I told you she was from Clarkston. So go ahead, Shana.
Yeah, what's your connection to Clarkston? I know you're related to Katie.
Right,
Yes.
so Katie is my cousin, and her mom was my first cousin, and Katie's my second cousin. And my connection to Clarkston is really my clients. So customers that come into my farm boutique, a lot of them are from Clarkston. So that is my connection to Clarkston. Also, I just recently joined the Chamber of Commerce, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get more involved in the community.
Yeah. So Shana's farm boutique is behind her mom's farm. Can you tell the history of the farm? And
Absolutely.
okay.
So my parents bought the farm in 1948, and they had a beef farm. They had over 500 head of cattle there, and farmed over 4,000 acres. And when my mom passed away in 2021, I bought the farm and continued my business. I actually started my business about 8 years ago. And it started as my mom wanted to have an antique shop because she collected antiques her whole life. And so I started it as an antique shop, and then slowly turned into offering other gifts like handmade Amish furniture and Brie's tallow, right? And home decor, gifts, clothing, and the Meyer bags that you see here.
Awesome. And tell us where your boutique is located.
So the boutique is located at 4942 White Lake Road, and it's right at the intersection of North Ormond and White Lake Road, and it's on our farm. So you'll see a big barn in the back of the farmhouse that has a flower on it, and we actually have 3 barns full of merchandise. And we're open on Saturdays 10 to 5 and Sundays 11 to 4.
Wow.
So when we talked to you guys about coming on, we really wanted to focus on a couple of small business owners with Small Business Saturday coming up. But I think what's interesting about both of you, as I'm just thinking about this, is you both have had full-time jobs outside of growing your small businesses, and you're both transitioning out of those full-time jobs into focusing all your efforts on these. So that's kind of an interesting timing for both of you.
Very interesting.
Great
And,
Yes.
and it's funny, we've known each other for as long as we have, and we're both falling into the same scenario at the same time. Kind of funny.
That is nuts.
And we've talked back and forth about it through, the last year and a half or 2 years that we've been doing business.
Right.
Yep.
And here we are.
Here we are.
So talk about Allow Nourishment and how you got into all that. I know, like we talked about, you've been working full time. How did this come to be?
It's funny because I get asked this question and I start to think about like all these things. Like I have a grandma that was very much like, I lived with her for many years with my family. Like she lived with all of us, and she was very much like food for medicine. She was just like that grandma that was like, yeah, if I got back from the doctors, he said this, so I'm putting salt in this avocado and I'm gonna eat it. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, so that was just kind of obvious influence. I've always had issues with my skin, breaking out in hives, like head to toe since I was like 15. So also like being very cautious about what I'm eating or putting on my skin, and because I could never find, or in doctors either, could ever find a solution to it. So I mean, that just guided me into looking for holistic things. So obviously I landed into tallow because it was a solution for myself. Now it hit me in a time where I was climbing the corporate ladder and I wanted a certain position at my job, and so I, for the first time, went into a low grade position to start working my way through, and I had to sit in, basically I for the first time ever had one job, and I've always had 2+ jobs all my life, 2 to 3, mostly. So first time having one job, I was like in panic mode. Like I always have multiple sources of income. And I was making the tallow for myself and my sister, and I gifted it at Christmas time, and I just had so many people asking for it. And I was like, this would be not a bad idea to start selling, because they're asking for it anyways, and helping my friends' kids and stuff. So of course I was gonna say yes. So there we are. I'm like, okay, little thing, another avenue of income. And then it just started growing to the point where obviously I'm starting to look at that more serious than climbing the corporate ladder that I ended up giving up on, obviously, and landing here. So
What is tallow? Can we back up? What is tallow? Can you explain it, what the product
absolutely.
is?
Yeah, so tallow is the prized fat. It is rendered down from suet. We specifically use tallow from regenerative farms who grow cattle that are vaccine, GMO free, grass-fed, grass-finished, all the things, all the quality that I look for in all of my lifestyle things, I guess. And so you take suet, which is right around the loins and kidney area, and the reason why it's so dense in vitamins and minerals, and you render it down. We dry render it, and you are left with a nice creamy lotion, basically, or balm, I should say. And then we, of course, add a little bit of touch of olive oil to it. But the coolest thing about tallow is it's bioidentical to our oil makeup. So when you put it on, it absorbs, it can't clog your pores, and then not just that, like I said, it's so dense in vitamins and minerals, it just nourishes your skin from the outside in, did I say that right? Outside in. But it's vitamins that we lack in our everyday food too, so.
I think I've heard you say too, like if you can't eat it, you shouldn't be putting it on your body type of,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of like my theory. It's been my theory for a long time, and and then obviously this kind of like made me put it into words. Like, no, if you wouldn't put it in your body, why would you put it on your body?
Yeah. Well, that's
I
good.
will tell you that all of my customers that come in and buy the tallow, they repeat and come back and keep buying it because they love it so much.
Yeah, and they spread the word.
do.
It was the same thing with me. I wanted to share it. I was like, my kids, my sisters, my friends, and then the solutions that I would hear back from people, I was just amazed. I
know you have a few of them up here, and I think we'll put some pictures in, but this one that's Utter Delight.
Yes.
I think we're doing the giveaway for that. So in the Connecting Clarkston app under deals and giveaways, there's a giveaway right now. And I think Small Business Saturday, we're going to announce a winner. And then I think you're also doing another giveaway starting for people that come to your store on that day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to give away a $50 gift card for White Blossom and then a jar of the tallow.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yay.
That is awesome.
To celebrate Small Business Saturday.
Yeah.
And what's the date of that? Is that the
That would be Saturday, November 30th.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I felt like Utter Delight was the right one with Shana and all of her cow.
Well,
Cute
and the connection
attire.
with your beef that
Yeah.
your parents
Yeah.
had a
Right.
beef farm. That kind of makes sense.
Right. So I do carry a lot of Myra bags and boots and things like that in my store. So the coat I have on is a Myra coat. Then I carry the big Weekender bags and then the boots also. The Weekender bags are so popular. That's probably like my number one seller in my shop.
When you say Myra, what is that?
Myra is the brand of bag, and they're made with usually canvas, cowhide, and then leather, right? And so sometimes there's embossed leather or plain leather. They're a really nice quality bag. I've been carrying them for 4 years, and I've only had one returned because of a zipper.
Wow.
So they're really good quality, and people like them.
Yeah.
So speaking of all the products that you have, obviously you sell a lot of Nourishment products, but where do you get your other products? Like where do you source them? How do you find all the things that you sell?
So I try and source as many products as I can from local suppliers like Brie, right? And my candles I source locally. I just believe in buying anything we can made in the USA. So I try as hard as I can to purchase most of my goods that are made in the USA.
Talk about your cutting boards, because I know you have some like customized specialty cutting boards, and that's somebody local that does that.
Yep. We have a local carpenter that does the cutting boards, and he makes them all out of natural wood. And we have another guy that actually can laser cut in the wood on the board. So if you want a custom name put on there for a gift, a lot of people buy them for wedding gifts, Christmas gifts, So yeah.
And then the raw edge shelves, right?
Yeah, so we have black walnut live edge shelves that can be made, custom made to any size.
Those are really cool.
Yeah.
Oh. Is your stuff available online or it's just those Saturday markets?
So Saturday and Sunday, I don't have online yet, but as I'm leaving my corporate job, I will be, looking into that more heavily.
Yeah, you guys really are transitioning at the same time.
We
That's
are.
interesting.
hilarious.
Your products, I assume, are online?
Yeah. We have a website. We started a website pretty early, and then online, local stores. Our website also shows an events page of where we are, when we are, because we do all the tattoo conventions in Michigan, because tallow is really great for healing skin, and tattoos included. We also do women's shows. So there's like a women's expo every year in Novi. There's another one in Grand Rapids. So we try to hit all of those.
If you are not a member of the Clarkston Chamber,
I am.
You are.
Yes.
Were you at Women in Business?
What's that?
Women in Business?
Yes.
Yes, because I feel like that's a great event,
Yes.
just with lots of different.
So it's funny because, as she said, like getting more involved now that she's out of her
Yes.
job.
Yeah.
That's where I am. I try to plug in everything I can, but 45 hours a week with your job, and then and then keeping up with what you have to.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to get more involved with. I always feel like I'm left out when I see them online. I'm like, oh, this happened, I couldn't go. So
where
super
do you
excited.
manufacture? Like, where does this happen?
It happens in my home.
Awesome.
And it has taken over my home.
Yeah.
And garage and
Yeah.
basement. So it happens in my home right now. I mean, in the future, do we want to, yes, we do, absolutely. But at the end of the day, when I first started this, nothing that I planned was what I planned. So I could sit here and say our plan is to do this, but I don't know what our plan is going to be.
Right.
Because this is organically grown so differently than what I ever envisioned. So.
Yeah. That's kind of the best way
I'm
it
not
happens.
mad about it.
So you have the lotion, but there are other products too, right?
Yeah, no, we have lotion. The lotion is our main thing, so I always tell people I never want to oversell anybody. Tallow will give you positive effects, like just try tallow, but we have an upper tier line, which is Emu, which Shana also carries. It's become very, very popular, but it's Emu oil and tallow blend, so that's kind of like our anti-aging cream. tier, but then we also have deodorants, we have soaps, lip balms, we have like healing balms, salves. And really, like, I guess one of my main focuses when I manufacture something or I start to fabricate something is being very minimal, because I've had to go too many times in my life with stripping everything out of it to try to figure out what was the issue. So I try to be very minimal. I try to be very practical. So we blend this with cold pressed organic olive oil. Most people have encountered olive oil in their lifetime. I think other oils that other companies use, like jojoba, is great, but I've never physically ever tried to eat jojoba oil. You know, so I try to talk or think with that logic when doing it. So you'll notice like our soaps are just tallow and food grade lye. So we don't try to cut it with coconut oils or olive oils or anything like that. So it's a nice hard soap. But I just try to be very minimal and clean with everything that we do.
That's how you say jojoba. I always said jojoba when I saw that on the ingredient list.
Maybe I say it wrong, but
That makes sense.
Something made me say jojoba at some point in time, so I'm guessing that I was corrected.
I'm just picturing it on ingredient lists.
It looks like jojoba.
Jojoba. But now I'll say it correctly.
Yeah.
Jojoba. Okay.
So
Interesting.
just very simple. I just like simple.
And these are available obviously at Shana's store, but where else locally can people buy?
Essence on Main, downtown Clarkston. Clarkston Pharmacy also carries us. Funky Fungi Tea House in Holly. We're at a Spa Time in Rochester. We also are a chiropractor, Birmingham Wellness in Birmingham. And we're honestly, obviously, with me leaving my corporate job, we're pursuing more stores where we weren't able to in the past, but now we have the capacity and manpower to do it.
That is fantastic. And so Small Business Saturday is coming up. We talked about it a little bit. How do you envision this impacting your business? Because I feel like it's a really fun thing and really important for us to promote. Obviously, connecting Clarkston, we want to promote all things Clarkston. Do you anticipate it being having a big impact?
Yeah, it's one of the busiest days of the year for me at White Blossom. And I will be doing a sip and shop. So we'll have sips and snacks, and we'll be doing the giveaway that we talked about. So the gift card giveaway with the tallow. And people just really love to shop local and support local business. And when I tell them about Brie's product being made locally in Clarkston, they love that. So
that's a great connection. And talking about Sip and Shop, there is another event that you'll be at Deer Lake Athletic Club, right? And what's the date for that one?
that is this Thursday, the 21st, and it's from 5 to 9 p.m. And it's in the banquet center at Deer Lake Racquet Club.
A lot of good vendors there.
And then on Sunday, there is the Bespoke Market, which is going to be in Davisburg at the Springfield Oaks Activity Center. And that's going to be from 10 to 4, I believe. And that'll be even bigger.
And tell me again where that one was.
At Springfield Oaks Activity Center in Davisburg, where the Oakland County 4-H Fair is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Will you have your trailer there?
I can't actually. I asked if I could take my trailer into the building.
Okay.
And they said no, so I'll set up separately for my trailer.
So just this year, she built out this trailer that's super cute.
Amazing.
So some of the events, she can have this trailer where you can actually walk in and shop some of the products.
Right.
Yeah.
You can see that on my Facebook page, but I will be doing more shows this spring since I, won't be working full time.
Yeah.
And I do really well at shows, and people love to come. They think the trailer is the cutest thing.
It is the cutest
We
thing.
put some barnwood in there and, built it out, lights and everything. It's really fun.
Talk a little bit about your Amish furniture and kind of how that works.
So the Amish furniture is handmade by the Amish, and they're from Coldwater, Michigan. And I go down there and pick up a trailer full of furniture about every couple months. And I can do custom orders, but I sell that furniture in my store, and that's in my second barn, which is what I call the carriage house.
Can people shop in those other barns?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have antique finds, unique things. Katie always says I have unique items that nobody else has.
Yeah, no, it's just super cute, and it's unlike anything else I think, anywhere around.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's everything. Like, I always pick up my sunglasses there. I'm terrible with sunglasses. I lose them. I ruin them. But I feel like
purses.
yes, yeah, I'm always buying your purses. But I think there's just a wide variety. You know, there's like less expensive, mid-priced items, holiday decor.
And in the spring again, I will have garden vegetables again.
Okay.
So I will have that just to continue with our family farm.
Yeah, oh, that's fantastic. So I know, so Small Business Saturday, very important to everybody, and especially for exposure, you know, and getting people out there. But speaking of exposure, so you were on Fox 2 recently. Can you tell us about that experience? You're a big movie star now, TV star.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Tell us about Charlie.
Yeah, how
Charlie,
was it?
I never even met Charlie. And it's yeah.
Well,
and-
because
but
after, right? I think he was like using the lotion afterwards or something. I'm like, oh my
he may
gosh.
have. I brought gift bags for
Yeah.
them. I wasn't able to see like the segment right after or anything like that, so I don't know what
He's
transpired.
just so much energy. I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know what transpired afterwards, but I know he got a tallow jar.
Okay.
I know he got a tallow jar. But it sounds like the girls really liked it.
How did that happen? How did that?
Yeah, so somebody that uses our product works on set, and she comes into the Oakland County Farmers Market, and that's actually how I met Shana. So
Right.
yeah, so I mean, we meet a lot of the people that use our product, and I absolutely, that's just one thing that we really is just community, like tribe. This is my tribe of people. But yeah, she found us at the Oakland County Farmers Market, and she messaged me one day, and she's like, we have a segment available, and I would love to, you know, have you guys on. And it was the only Sunday that we had available.
Wow.
Like we were, yeah. So I was like, sure, yeah, you know. So just submitted some photos and brought in some product, and I just told myself I was going in to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Were you planning on leaving your job, or did that expedite it? Did you feel like everything was falling into place and like, okay?
Yeah, you know, I feel like through this whole journey, everything has fallen into place. Months ago, it was like, when is the time? And I knew, like, I'm gonna have to be spread so thin that I have everything given up. You know, I don't go enjoy things. And I was waking up at 4 a.m. I was going to bed at 9 and, you know, doing it all again. But, you know, months ago, it was just the question of when is the time? And then, of course, approaching the holidays with the demand of the events that we're doing, the orders that we're getting. And I can't say that the Fox 2, it was like, oh my gosh, I have to quit now. Did it bring in? Yes, it did. It made a ripple effect of things to happen where I didn't want to say no. You know what I mean? I don't want to say no to things, and that's where I was like, I have to give up this. And you know, and I should say, I did set myself up for success. You know, I was paving the way to make sure debt was paid off, and you know, those smart things that us adults should be doing. You know, to where I was more comfortable to say, you know, this is the time, and I think we need to do it.
And now look, you're on a press tour. This is
From Fox 2 to here.
logical transition.
I was listening to something the other day, and it was talking about like the seasons in your life, you know, and how there's like a season to like kill yourself working multiple jobs and making it all work. And it was talking about getting to the point where it just is the only logical path forward. And it's interesting to hear you like feel like it's the right time, and it's also definitely the right time for you, and I think that's awesome. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Tell me, can you talk about your social media handles and like websites so people know where to find your farm info and your...
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook and Instagram, White Blossom Farm Boutique.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also talk about your hours. I know we touched on that briefly, but I think that's one of the most unique things about you.
Right.
is-
So right now, as I finish up my full-time career, I will remain to be open on Saturdays 10 to 5 and Sundays 11 to 4. In the spring, I'll probably start expanding my hours. So we'll see how that goes, but I'll place that information on Facebook.
Nice. And tell us your website and socials.
Yeah, social media, Instagram and Facebook is my main ones, and it's just simple, Allow Nourishment, and then website is allownourishment.com. And then if you want to come see us, we're at the Oakland County Farmers Market Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays in the morning. And that's year round. I think it ends in January though, and we're just Saturdays till May, but and the event page on our website honestly will navigate you to be able to find us and be able to try anything that we have on our website.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you have another, besides the farmers market, do you have some big events that you're going to be at too before the holidays?
So not really. We just had a huge push the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll be honest, I haven't had time to dig for them. So we got invited to things like the Detroit Athletic Club. That was like a last minute pop-up that we did a couple of days. So I did what we were invited to this season, and then of course our Oakland County. We're also at Holly's Winter Market up there on Sundays as well. But I don't even know, like I can't even tell you if I have anything booked directly after this past weekend because we just got slammed.
I'm sure.
It was just one of those. It was just that time of the year. Yeah.
Oh, congrats to both of you. That's
Yeah.
super exciting.
Thank you.
It's a good time to chat with you guys before the holidays here. I have some ideas, and Katie, I'm going to get you some
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody gets
God,
lotion.
I want the bag. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for coming to talk with us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it, and happy shopping to everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
If
Thank
there's
you.
any other events, any other things you want to talk about before we do our little cheers. And one thing to keep in mind is the way we always close is if there's someone you can recommend to come on our show next, we'd love to hear any ideas you might have of people or interesting things going on that you know of.
I would say Nicole with the board. I don't know if you've ever.
Yes.
Oh, the
my
board
gosh.
charcuterie?
Have you
Yes.
had her?
Not yet.
We have not.
Okay,
But we
highly
do talk to
suggest-
her frequently.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, we do
Love her.
them.
Love her
We love
boards.
their new little. We had talked about because at the market you were at Depot, I think was the first time they had their cart
Yes.
out. Maybe
Yes.
it's so cute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
should
is
have
she's
them
adorable.
on.
Great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I had a photo shoot, and she actually came to my photo shoot, so she's in my new
Oh.
marketing photos. And then she also, I ordered, I should say, a big, nice charcuterie board for everybody that was coming, and it was involved in the photo shoot. I just got the pictures back yesterday, so I'm super pumped. I sent them
that's
to her
cool.
today. So as soon as I saw, like, suggestion, Nicole,
Yes.
Yeah.
Nicole, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
We like it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like charcuterie?
Ah.
Brie bacon.
I know.
Yes.
Cheese and meat. There's
Before
literally
the
a
show,
pizza.
yeah, we were like, "You're a walking charcuterie board." Brie bacon.
On that note,
That's so cute.
And I still
Love it.
beef fat.
It all was meant to be. This is
was.
all predetermined. Well, thank you guys.
Yes,
We
thank you
appreciate you,
guys.
Yep.
coming on and chatting with us.
This podcast is brought to you by Independence Television, located inside Clarkston High School. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Independence Television, Independence Township, or Clarkston Community Schools.